Like you shifted from that era of like, here's the image, and you are very creative. So it feels like I'm speaking to my creative twin over here. So what pushed you from just posting your images to like, you know what? Let me see if I can make this move.
You know something? The first images that I did that were photorealistic. So what I do is what's called photorealistic images. So in other words, they look just like real people.
Mhm.
I animated when I posted the images one time I posted just images. That second time I was animating. So it was immediate for me. I immediately said to myself, okay, I see these people, but I need these people to be alive, you
Mm.
know. And so
Mm-hmm.
that again, that's just part of, the creativity in me. It was so funny is that the first photorealistic images that I did were based on some of my great aunts and uncles on my mother's side of the family in Tennessee. And they were the best storytellers ever. And so in my mind, I thought to myself, I gotta animate them. I gotta animate these. And so it's just I started then. I started way back then. And it's so funny to see those animations now, then
Mm-hmm.
versus now. Even the Layla video, I finished that video in September of last year. I want to redo the video now because I know it'll be totally different, the animation and and that's just it's like 5 minutes of AI animation, how you have dog years where dog is
Mm-hmm.
2 but
Yes.
15, that's the AI years are just it's phenomenal. So I just started. So to answer your question, I immediately started animating the images.
You push yourself in the pool, then you're like, I swim today. Today, I'm swimming today. She was like, I'm swimming today. I'm not
Yep,
gonna wait 6 months because
pretty much.
it took me a minute. It took me a minute because I remember being literally I because I was interested in what Uriah was doing, and then I was just like, oh no, I can't. Oh, he's I can't. He's doing too much. I can't. I just want some rain. I just want some rain. That's all I want. And it took me like 6 months, and I just how you hit that creative dry spell. You're just like, I'm done. This is
Yeah,
boring now. Like I
yeah.
don't see going anywhere else. And then I came back, and I think that's when I connected with Uriah. And then I was like, I want this bike to move. And he was like, okay, then make it move. I was like, what? And I was
Move
like,
it.
and I'm like, nobody else is doing it though. I said, nobody. And I cannot believe at this big age, I said, I'm going to be completely transparent because I like to say that, oh, I don't care. And it's this big grown age. I was like, but nobody's going to like it. They're going to think I'm crazy. Right? And he was like, have you seen my stuff? I was like, you know. And so the other part I want to ask you is,
Hmm.
but that's good to know. So, guys, did you all hear that? Anybody who's all the people who are listening on our live and the watch party, she literally posted the image and then went straight to it. And I think one of the things I love that she said is that she will ask questions. Okay, there's a difference between asking questions and then enabling.
Mm.
So, but she
Right.
found questions and then she kept going. And then on top of that, I think the thing that I love that you said, and I wish I could get a repeat on that, is that you surrounded yourself by people who were like where you wanted to be, or people who were like in your niche. Like
Mm.
we need to. That's the next level to evolving and moving forward. So the other part that I wanted to say is, what impact do you hope that the animation part will have towards like representing like us, like what impact, because I feel like we're doing a lot more with it
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, not and this is my own personal opinion, not everybody else's opinion. This is mine. But especially like during like months like Black History Month, like what you just did right there with Harriet Tubman, that's phenomenal. That's something that you show your children. That's something that
Yeah.
you show in school. And you
Yeah.
literally have it out there. And I'm a big school advocate. And
Yeah.
you literally have that out there, like, here you go. Okay, I'm doing my mic like, here you go, it's for free. Just watch it. Enjoy. This is what I do.
Yeah.
So, what do you hope that animation would do for how you impact us with the Black history and things of that nature?
So there's a lot. There's a lot going on here when I do what I do. I don't just do things. There's a reason for everything that I do. And first and foremost, there is a thing called AI bias. And we all know, all of us, any of us who have been working with AI images for any length of time, you know how hard it is to get representation of an image that looks like us.
Woo! We
You,
just talked about that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord Jesus, yes.
you can put in, I want a woman walking down the street, blah, blah, blah. It's always going to be the same woman. She's going to be blonde. She's going to be European, etc.
Or she gonna be doing them streets. She's gonna be outside.
And the thing is that the more that we are involved in this process, the more that we can see accurate images of ourselves. And so we talk about all the time that, we don't like
Thank you. That was good. That was good what she just said.
we don't like what we see on television. We don't like what we see on social media. We don't like what we see wherever. Okay, well, now you have the ability to create what we want to see about of ourselves. And so that's one side of it. The other side of it is getting us involved in a higher level of what we see working out there. Getting us involved in becoming creative partners, getting us involved in giving feedback to these companies. When you get an image, when you say, I want an image of a Black woman and she's coming out overly sexual, or her breasts are coming out, everything else, you can then come back to that company and say, hey, this is not an accurate image of what I need to see here. So we need to work with your training models a little bit more. I know what images you're using to train your models, to train your platform, but we need to do something a little bit different. And then the more we use it, the more it starts to take in that information of what we're prompting for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one thing. The other thing doing like the Black history stuff, I decided to do did not have a plan to do a Black History Month series of videos. It just happened. And the response from it was so wonderful that I said, you know what? I am a history buff, but everybody else is not. Everybody else does not realize the stuff that I know. And there's some stuff I don't know. And when we see that type of information and we're clinging to it, that means that we're thirsty for it. And so if I have the ability to put it out there, then I'm going to do that. I say this all the time. Whatever everybody's religious beliefs are, that's fine. Go with it. If you don't have religious beliefs, that's fine. But I feel that my talents are definitely God-given, but they're not given for me. They're given so that I can give them to someone else, that I can use and put it out there in the world and put something good to it.